This presentation will review the Ron Swanson Campaign Simulation by Donald Bigler, J.T. Burney, and Audrey Sinkbill. It will discuss the overarching strategy we used, our turns of action, as well as any data analysis and things that we could have used better throughout the campaign. In order to have the most effective and efficient campaign, our strategy needed to be simple. Wilburn Island was made up of three key strategic areas, or KSAs. These areas we found key after analysis of the similarity in the demographics. These areas included the center, north, and northeast. Each of these areas also carried enough electoral votes between them that would give us a victory if all areas were won. The center with 23, the north with 13, and the northeast with 16. Overall, these were our keys to success in the Ron Swanson campaign. The second component of our strategy was to learn which voters we needed to attract and on which issues these voters were likely to vote. To do this, we strategically purchased surveys to give us a view of the key voting demographics for each KSA. Using those demographics and data, we were able to determine that healthcare and religion were the top two issues. Also, we used a combination of data analysis and pivot table analysis to determine which age demographics were most likely to care about these issues. In addition to survey information, we used the available data sets to gain an insight into voting patterns and issues of the people of the island. These data sets were also used to match our key voters to useful communication tools such as household addresses and microblogging handles. Finally, our third major strategy component was to utilize a combination of critter and campaign options to promote our candidate. Traditional campaigns and critter actions were used in tandem to promote the same issue simultaneously in most cases. Original actions were taken during beginning turns to establish and gain a following by combining traditional and promoted campaigns and microblogging messaging. The microblogging promotion were especially important as they were a key part of our strategy, which was to run an efficient and effective campaign through advocates online and in the community. In order to qualify a move as legitimate, each move had to pass our decision-making process. Step 1 is our initial external review, which had us review previous moves by all candidates, including our own. Data analysis was used for sample reports of competing candidates to determine any trends for their strategies. If any trends were noticed about whether another candidate was going with their next move, we would take that into consideration for Step 2. Step 2 is our internal review process that required an internal review of all current survey data. We would drill down into our reporting available to us from our survey data to find further insight on what the past turns could reveal about the future. When this step was completed, we would be able to answer whether or not we needed more information to make a decision for a turn or if we were ready for the final Step 3. Step 3 was our maximum impact analysis step that put Steps 1 and 2 into action. This is where we would dictate our next step. Using all of the data and analysis available, we would construct our approach for our next turn. We would evaluate the impact of promoting campaigns on certain issues. We would also analyze the impact of negative critter posts versus every candidate. When this process was complete, we felt ready to make our final turn decisions. Using the information gained through surveys, data sets, and data analysis, we were able to determine what issues were most important to each of our KSAs. These issues, as well as the demographics of each region, were then used to consider which actions to take during each turn. Turn 1 was a discovery turn. We downloaded the initial data sets for household addresses and registered voters. Using these addresses, we surveyed the north, center, and south to establish a baseline data set for voter interest and demographics. This survey cost $4,100. Our online strategy for this turn was a shot in the dark with no voter data. With this in mind, we posted a normal post on social issues. Turn 2 began our data analysis for initial survey data from Turn 1. This data revealed the most important issues, significant voter demographics, and it showed which voters were apolitical. We found that the top issues in the center, north, and east were healthcare, religion, and childcare in that order. Cross-referencing demographics from the survey and identifying apolitical voters allowed us to create targeted campaign lists, or TCLs, for our KSAs. We wanted to attack something that other candidates might not, so we campaigned for childcare toward the most interesting age group for that field at 30 to 45 years old. To test differences in impact, we also decided to split our promotions on issues. We used Critter to promote a traditional post about healthcare to show that we were in touch with the voter interest. Our final action in turn 2 was to purchase the active data set for microblogging users. This cost the campaign $2,900 and set us up for future moves to promote to Critter users. After reviewing more demographic information and the other candidate actions, Turn 3 allowed us to decide to message about the top issue, healthcare. We spent $3,355 to campaign to voters in our KSAs that were interested on this issue. We also promoted in tandem a Critter post for healthcare. In Turn 4, we decided to survey the Northeast, Center, and South areas so that we could more efficiently compete with Ricky Bobby. The survey cost $4,100. We decided to attack Ricky Bobby's stance on crime and safety by leveraging our current Critter followers of 468 and promoting the attack to 2006 other Critter users at a cost of $4,513.50. During Turn 5, we needed to gain ground in the center and pick up gains in the Northeast and South. We used our targeted lists to focus our attack campaign versus Ricky Bobby on religion at a cost of $3,290. This attack gained 45% effectiveness and negatively impacted Ricky Bobby by 92%. As a result, from our actions in Turn 5, Turn 6 allowed us to gain ground on Ricky Bobby in the center area. Group 6 took the lead in the South, which allowed us to focus on winning the East and Center. We decided to pursue donations from supporters by using Turn 1 survey data for voters interested in child care and health care. We also targeted households from Turn 2 survey who favored Ron Swanson. The total list of 485 addresses cost $3,395. We decided our best chance to win was to secure the Center and East, so we used another promoted post on Critter to strengthen our stance on healthcare. During Turn 7, we received the contributions from our campaign, resulting in $46,070 from 324 donors. Through analysis of competitor campaigns, it was clear that religion gave us an opportunity to gain ground in the most areas while picking up ground on Ricky Bobby and Group 6. Our campaign reached 1,504 residents at a cost of $7,700. An attack position on Ricky Bobby gave us a positive 45% effect and gave him a negative 92% effect. We also promoted a religion-focused online post to over 2,700 residents in the same areas at a cost of just over $5,000. We were attacked by Group 8 in Turn 7 on our healthcare stance and wanted to reestablish our position in this issue in our KSAs. Campaigning on healthcare now will give us a chance to improve our standing versus the competition while giving us an opportunity to promote religion during the final turn. The TCL for 1,360 residents cost $6,800, and a targeted promotion list for Critter to the areas of the East, Northeast, North, South, and Center reached 2,924 members of our target audience and cost $5,004. In our final turn, we were in last place but could move into second place by winning the Northeast area from Ricky Bobby. He took corporate contributions on the issue of religion, which made an attack more impactful. Overall, our final TCL was attacking Ricky Bobby on religion to 1,331 households at a cost of $6,655. We also wanted to reach a broader audience for religion with a promoted post on Critter. To make the maximum impact for the most popular issue of religion, we decided to promote a positive Critter post about religion to the North, South, East, Center, and Northeast areas. We promoted the targeted Critter list to 7,372 users regarding religion for a total of $16,587. After analysis of our moves and overall strategy, we feel like our overall strategy was great. However, there were some things that could have been changed in order to gain more electoral votes. Looking back, it seems like the most successful candidates used the same messaging for each online and offline action during a term. Doing this seems to have provided them the maximum impact for a message of an issue. While many of our views and turns follow this idea, we did have some turns early in the campaign that were split. We also could have used better results from attacking a third issue later in the campaign. Healthcare and religion were the top two results of issues, but we could have reached a broader audience by campaigning for a third issue. This could have expanded our reach and given us more electoral votes. Finally, we could have considered a corporate contribution instead of soliciting donations. Asking for funds from our supporters raised plenty of funds for us, but it cost us a move that proved costly. In retrospect, we could have accepted corporate donations for the infrastructure issue. This was a low-risk move when all was said and done because infrastructure was not very important to the island. Ultimately, we could have been able to accept these donations, keep a campaign action from that turn, and not been attacked for it. Throughout the simulation process, we used a combination of data analysis tools to help us interpret data sets and surveys. Pivot tables were a vital tool in helping us visualize important data. The use of conditional formatting and heat map tools also helped us quickly identify trends from this data. The data we collected from early on showed that what was important for our campaign and what age groups had the greatest concerns with each possible issue. As you can see from the pivot table analysis, healthcare and religion were the two most important issues to our voters. These charts provided us with the target age groups for these issues, as well as the appropriate areas to target. Additional survey and data analysis showed us which voters were also apolitical. Knowing which voters were not interested in politics allowed us to remove apolitical voters from our campaign and critter lists, increasing our ROI, or return on investment, for each funds spent towards promoting our candidate. We began the campaign with $36,988. Our plans to run an efficient campaign revolved around making the most of these funds early and then soliciting individual contributions from loyal supporters around turn 7. On average, we spent $8,700 per turn on a combination of surveys, critter promotions, campaign moves, data set purchases, and contribution drives. In total, we spent $78,756.25. Our largest spending category was that of critter promotions at just over $33,000. Our second largest was going to be our spending category of targeted campaigns at $30,835. We spent a total of $8,216 on surveys, $3,395 on a single contribution drive, and $2,900 on the microblogging user dataset. Our campaign was revitalized with funds during a contribution drive on turn 7, where we received total donations of $46,070. This allowed us to spend up to $17,000 on each of our remaining moves. We ended the campaign in the black with a total surplus of $4,301.75. There were a few areas where we feel like data analysis could have helped. First, a more thorough analysis of competitive strategy could have been performed. While only a limited amount of data was available, a deeper tracking of competitive strategies could have been more performed. Data analysis of survey data for most popular candidates on an issue could have also given us a better chance to view who was leading in which categories. Secondly, our campaign could have used data analysis to become more efficient with our promotions. By eliminating households and critter users that we had previously promoted to, we could have narrowed our list even further for more efficient returns. Using VLOOKUPs and data consolidation tools to compare and cross-examine multiple sets of data, we may have found hidden votes for our candidates. Finally, downloading voter interest data sets may have helped to narrow our list contacts. Using data such as the vehicle registration list could have provided insights into voter interest through pivot table analysis. Overall, this campaign was an excellent example of the strength of data and analytical tools. While we didn't win the election, we consistently posted some of the highest rated turn moves on our island. We also finished the simulation in third place for popular vote at 17.8%, which was only 0.4 percentage points behind second place. This was a great way to use analytical skills, and we look forward to using them in our day-to-day lives. Thank you for watching our presentation about the Ron Swanson campaign simulation.